Hello friends, welcome back to my another video about UPSC. Welcome to my channel Timebox UPSC India, where you will start learning facts about the UPSC and how to proceed for a successful career in it. So we will continue our video regarding frequently asked question about the AIS branch, that is All India Services. So in this one, the next question that people keep asking is, does the selection committee follow the DPC guidelines issued by the Government of India, that is DOP and EP? So the answer is no. The reason is the selection committee makes the assessment in terms of provisions of the promotion regulations as per the guidelines of the commission. So the Honorable Supreme Court in their judgment dated 13 December 2007 in civil appeal number that is 5883-589 of 2007 filed by Shri M.V. Timaniya and ORS versus Union Public Service Commission and other have upheld the guidelines of the Commission for making the assessment of the service records by the selection committee considered under the promotion regulations. The court have observed as under, therefore, in view of patina of the cases, courts normally do not sit in the court of appeal to assess the ACRs and much less than the tribunal can be given this power to constitute an independent selection committee over the statutory selection committee. So the guidelines have already been given by the commission as to how the ACRs to be assessed and how the making has to be made. These guidelines take care of proper scrutiny and not only by the selection committee but also the view of the state government are obtained, and ultimately the commission after scrutiny prepared the final list which is sent to the central government for appointment. So the next question is, how is the case of provisionally included officer considered while preparing year-wise select list for more than 1 year? So answer is, while preparing year-wise select list for more than 1 year pursuant to the second provisio to the sub-regulation section 1 of the promotion regulations, the officer included provisionally in any of the select lists so prepared shall be considered for inclusion in the select list of the subsequent year in addition to the normal consideration zone in which in that case he is found fit for the inclusion in the select list also on a provisional basis. Such a inclusion shall be in addition to the normal size of the select list determined by the central government for such a year. So the next step in the video is, can an officer be assessed as unfit on the basis of disciplinary or criminal proceedings pending against him? The answer is no. An officer can be declared unfit only if the officer has been imposed with a penalty which renders him unfit on overall assessment and not merely on the basis of disciplinary or criminal proceedings pending against him. So, however, in case of disciplinary or criminal proceedings being pending against an officer, or he or she is to be included in the select list provisionally, if otherwise found fit, subject to clearance of the disciplinary or criminal proceedings. Will the penalty render an officer unfit for inclusion in a select list if the offence was committed prior to the assessment matrix of 5 preceding years, but the currency of penalty flows into assessment matrix? So yes, suppose an offence was committed by an officer in the year 2000, but the penalty was imposed in 2008, and he or she was included in the zone of consideration for select list of 2010. He or she would be rendered unfit as the currency of the penalty flows into the assessment matrix, which spans from 2005 to 6 and to 2009 to 10. So the next question is, suppose the selection committee meeting for preparation of year-wise select list of 2010 and 2013 was held in, let's say, June 2014, and penalty was imposed on one of the eligible officers in, let's say, March 2014. Will that officer be rendered unfit for the inclusion in the select list? So the answer is yes. If the currency of penalty flows into the ACM year, which is 2014 in this case, the officer would be graded as unfit in the overall assessment for all select lists being prepared. So, how is the penalty of censure treated while making the assessments? The selection committee, while preparing the select list, may take into account the effect of censure as under. The section A states that if the date of imposition of the censure falls within any of the years in the assessment matrix, the committee would recognize or categorize the officer as unfit for that year in which it is imposed for the first select list prepared in which he is eligible to be considered. Section B states that if the date of imposition of the censure is subsequent to the last year in the assessment matrix and up to the date of selection committee meeting, that is SCM, the committee would categorize the officer as unfit in the overall assessment for the first select list prepared in which he is eligible to be considered. C point is the penalty of censure would be ignored for the subsequent select list for which the officer may be eligible to be considered. The next up is there any suppression in the promotion to all India services? Okay, so the yes answer is yes. In terms of provisions of regulations, number 5, section 4, and number 5, section 5, and subsections 3AA and 5, section 4, and for the IFS, okay, this is the guidelines from the IFS regulations of promotion regulation. The selection for promotion to the all India services is on the basis of merit only. Next up is for selection of non-ACS officers for appointment to the AIS. What is the weightage of ACS and the interview? So it is 50-50. Okay. However, a minimum of 50% mark in each segment would be required to qualify for inclusion in the select list. Next is there a provision for the preparation of the year-wise select list in the respect of appointment by selection of non-ACS officers? The answer is no. The process of selection of non-ACS officers terminates at the end of the calendar year, succeeding the vacancy year. If the selection committee meeting could not be held by the end of that calendar year, the vacancy ceases to exist for non-ACS officers, and thereafter, for that particular year, no meeting is possible. So, is there any reservation for the scheduled caste, that is SC, or scheduled tribe, that is ST, or other backward classes, that is OBC, and physically handicapped, that is PH categories in the appointment by promotion or selection to all India services? The answer is no. There is no provision for reservation for any category of the person in the promotion or selection regulations which govern the promotions or selections to the all India services. Can minutes of the selection committee meeting to the disclosed under RTI Act? So the answer is yes. The minutes of selection committee meeting can be disclosed under the Right to Information Act 2005. So in the next video, we will cover the year-wise assessment and how it proceeds as per the RTI Act. Okay, we will brief on the RTI Act also in the next video. So guys, stay tuned to this channel, Timeworks UPSC India, so that you can understand more frequently asked questions about the UPSC. Thank you for watching.